Hi and welcome to a new video. In this video I wanted to do a review and just go through some of the examples of using the router assistant or the router assistant if you're in the UK. So this is normally in the new GTBE 19000 AI router. So globally I think the model does change, but you'll probably have AI in your router name. And you'll be able to see kind of the AI board and then the Docker and a lot of that information that you'll see present on the packaging. So you can, as you can see here, within the app and then also within the dashboard. So I'm using the browser, so this is where I've logged into, and then gone into AI board, where then you can actually got the dedicated little screen here. But you do have it always on the top as well of the dashboard, and it's in the app as well, where you say you can ask the router assistant. So this is kind of the, if my first video actually dedicated to a AI point. So I think I'm a bit behind on that now because everything is AI these days. But as we know, this is there on board, so it's on device as well. So this information you're typing in here and then the information it's giving back as well is not going across the internet or anything else like that. It's actually all going to be processed all on device and everything else. So as we said here, this hardware does specifically have it all set up so you can do on device AI. There's actually two kinds of CPUs and memory and flash on there. So the kind of router core networking CPU, that's a quad core 2.6 gigahertz Broadcom. It's a BCM 4916. So that has its own dedicated 4 gigs of RAM and 32 gigs of flash storage. So that's just core for your network, so like the normal kind of processor you'll find in a non-AI router. And then because this is the AI edition, so you're going to have an AI core, AI board kind of basically CPU in there, and that's going to power the router assistant potentially, as we'll go on to later, because you think that's because it's AI based, and then Docker, and then some of the other things that you can see within Docker that rely on AI, like the assistance here of the Frigate here, the open source MVR, basically built in, so it uses AI detection, so for like cars and humans and things like that, and that's going to take advantage of that separate CPU. And as we said, that CPU is a separate one, so that's still a quad core, but it's a 2.1 gigahertz Cortex A73. So that's got its own dedicated 4 gigs of RAM as well, and 32 gigs of flash. What different is this is that also it has a 7.9 TOPS NPU. So you'll see TOPS is the kind of AI accelerated CPUs out there that can process onboard AI models and things like that. So this is where it basically, where everything AI will be processed within the IO processor, networking, everything else will have its dedicated, as we said, the quad core Broadcom CPU that will handle everything. So again, this is quite a massive beast kind of thing of a router, to be honest, and it covers everything like we said. So what we're going to do is just basically dedicate this video just to go through the router assistant to see what it does and what it is. So the official describes, kind of ASUS officially describes the router assistant as an intelligent assistant based on embedding model. So we'll come on to that a little bit later on. It doesn't generate content, so instead it recognizes the meaning of natural language input. So if you type in there, how many devices I got on my Wi-Fi network, it will then look out and understand what you actually mean by that. And then basically once you've done that natural language input, it retrieves the most relevant answers from its knowledge base. So this is where it's a bit different from an actual AI LLM kind of model. It's not either going out to the internet, as we said, it's all on device, but it's actually more of a knowledge base where it searches using the AI kind of embedding, and it retrieves the information from them answers within that kind of 600 meg, I believe, knowledge base that's actually built into the actual firmware. So I think someone's done a recent teardown, and I think they've confirmed most of the implementation and details. So I think the model that they pulled out was a Quinn 3 embedding, so it's a 0.6 billion basically model, and I think it was a .gguf file, and that was located in the AI system models. And again, as we're saying, this model isn't an actual LLM, so it's a bit deceiving. So it's not actually like, you think as a kind of an AI model. We're just using it as a knowledge base. So think of it as a central database, and it's using a kind of an AI. This router assistant will take your natural language, translate it, and then search the knowledge base or the database and try and give you the correct answer. It's currently only available in English, and I think it runs on a Python script, so that's how it interprets your natural language and then how it converts it in searches. So again, it's using kind of manual content as it goes through. What is basically it's doing is as we said before, we've got a separate AI processor, but actually the NPU, or as we presume that would potentially be used for this router assistant, because it's using AI, is not actually using it. So I think in a kind of a breakdown that people have had a look at, the actual 7.9 TOPS NPU or the CNN accelerator is not actually used for a router assistant. So basically, when they've looked on there, it's only using it for like that frigate object detection or noise suppression or anything like that, where in the Docker where it's using the actual the TOPS or NPU processor. So this router assistant really isn't using any of that kind of processing power. It does use the A73 CPU cores though, so that's dedicated, so that's where it's getting its speed from, and of course then it doesn't interfere with the actual networking of the Broadcom CPU that's doing your networking, so it can handle both all at the same time without a hiccup basically. So as I said, basically it does take, so you'll notice on these kind of AI routers, but when it starts up, it does take a bit longer when it starts up because it's got to go through a few more processing and things like that. It's not majorly long kind of thing, but it does take a while for it to all go through on there. As we said, so let's have a quick look to see. As we said, you've got a little kind of assistant here, and it gives you a type in. You can see what's going on. So let's have a quick, if I've got some ones that I've actually already created. So as you said, it does give you some examples already of what you can type into the assistant here and everything else. So let's have a look here. So if I just go and then just hit enter. So right now I've asked it how many devices are connected to my network right now. And you can see current number of connected devices 57. Oh, blimey, I have a lot of devices connected. As again, it does just give that caveat that it's not always accurate, and also it's only available in English, and if it's basically to verify the information that's on there. But for most things you're going to need this for, it will actually give you the information you're needing, and it should be correct as well. So you can see that it came up really quick and identified how many devices. Then you can basically say we've got another one where you can actually ask it perhaps more of a question on around, if you want to know how do I change my 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi SSD and password. Let's see if that. So again, it won't actually do it for you or prompt you like in a kind of AI chat, because it's not actually that. So what it'll do is just give you instructions. So it will say to go to network, select the network from the main network or guest network, then choose the option to change the SSID or password, entering the Wi-Fi settings page. So again, it's basically, you've got here, you can say later or you can click go, and then it will also take you to that page for the network as well. So it's very quite quick as well, and it's giving you the answers that you need. So instead of searching the internet and everything else, you can do this straight here. And again, if you've got the app, you can type that in there. And let's see if we can diagnose something here. These are the first time I'm trying this, so we're both having a look to see what it answers. So I put on there my router LED is red. Normally it means the WAN port is disconnected or there's an issue, and what does this mean and how do I fix it. So let's have a look, see what it says. So yeah, so it gives you very clear answer straight away. It says this means your internet is disconnected. Try restarting your router and modem. Make sure the Ethernet cable connects from the modem LAN port to the ASUS router WAN port properly, and verify that all cables are securely connected. If this persists, reset the router to factory settings or contact your ISP for further assistance. About to reboot the router, do you want to do it now? And it will actually, you click on do it now and it will actually action that as well for you, so that's really good. Where it does say things like where it's going quite extreme, where it's saying, you know, you need to kind of factory reset the router and things like that. That's probably a bit extreme. If you've got a problem with your kind of WAN, there's normally the cables, or you just to verify some of the settings in there. I don't think you really need to go along and factory reset your settings. So again, like it's saying there, please verify the important information yourself. So take a little bit of a pinch of salt, but so far this has been actually quite impressive, where you know, where it's actually searching and everything else and giving us answers near enough straight away. So another question is like, how do I prioritize traffic for gaming on my console? So let's have a look. So that it basically gives you, enables an adaptive QoE, so game mode to prioritize gaming traffic, connect your device via the wired Ethernet instead of Wi-Fi. So it's giving you that kind of suggestion as well. If you still want to use Wi-Fi, then try use the 5 or 6 gig bands and place the router in an open area to reduce interference. And do you want to enable game mode? And it's asking you to do it now again, so it takes you straight there to enable it. I think it's actually coming on really well. As you can see, it's actually answering all the questions we've thrown at it so far, and you know, except for, you know, again, we have factory resetting. I think it's been really good. So here again, you can say, you know, how do I add a AI mesh node to my network? We suggest to set up 5 nodes, including the main router and the other mesh nodes, in an AI mesh system. The system is based on all nodes connecting to others via Wi-Fi. If you apply all Ethernet backhaul up to 9, the number can be more. However, 5 nodes is suggested for best performance for the system. So again, it's what it's saying is that you can just add 1 node on, but it's saying you can go up to 5 nodes on there if you want to add into the maximum kind of thing. So again, you just try and interpret it as it's typing it out. So it doesn't mean you have to buy a minimum of 5. It'll be rather expensive. So let's have a look to see on this one. So what's the difference between the router mode and access point mode and the media bridge, and how do I switch? So this is a good, bit more complicated now, as we're asking it a few things all in once. And again, let's see how it does it. So basically, router mode means ASUS device handles all the network functions, including the NAT, DHCP, and firewall, making it the main gateway to the internet. Well, access point or AP mode disables those routing functions and simply extends your existing network by passing its IP address from the main router, which is useful if your ISP modem or router is already providing the routing. Again, that's quite clear and everything else. I think it's basically bypassed the kind of media bridge that we asked for, but again, we did ask for a lot of things here. You could potentially go back and just say, can you clarify about the media bridge? But again, it's giving you quite clear answer what the definition between the two is. That, you know, if you ask anyone, that normally that would be the clear enough answer. Let's see on this one. So this is a bit more of a kind of scheduling. So how can I schedule Wi-Fi to turn off overnight to save power? So again, it's just taking you straight there. So you can say go to network and select a network from the main network, then enable Wi-Fi scheduling and set the time slot to on and off, entering Wi-Fi settings page. And then you can select later or go, and it will take you straight to that page. Again, it's answered it correctly with no issues or anything like that. So I think that's really good on there. Now let's have a look on the AI. So again, let's have a look to see how we can access. So how do I install AdGuard Home on the AI board? So let's see if we can answer that. You can find it on your system log DHCP lease. Here is the IP address. So again, we're asking around how you can find the system log. So a question actually was, how do we install AdGuard Home? And as you can see here, it should actually just answer you by going to the AI board and toggling and switching it on here for the AI protection, and then AdGuard Home is click on the install going through the AI board page. So again, it's not 100%, but I think it's 99% there, to be honest. And I think it's still a handy tool to have than not, and it's actually made it worthwhile to have something. You know, sometimes they add features that are a bit useless, to be honest, but this one actually sees some kind of benefit. And lastly, just try this one to see. My internet keeps dropping every few minutes. Walk me through troubleshooting. So let's just have a look to see. About to pause the internet. Do you want to do it now? So again, when you ask it these more technical questions, it's going to, you know, we would hope to have like a step-by-step guide or for troubleshooting. Again, every firmware update, as they said, they're improving on this, and when it first came out, it wasn't as good as it is now. So, you know, and they are releasing, it seems to be monthly drops of the kind of over the air for this AI board firmware. As you can see here, it's not really answering the question right now, but again, I presume this will get better. So yeah, so this has been, you know, quite a good kind of an idea and everything else of how it's structured. So as we said before, this isn't an LLM kind of your ChatGPT or your Claude or anything like that, or Gemini, a chatbot. This is basically taking your kind of your natural language that you're typing into it, and then translating that using Python into and searching like a database basically. So it's not actually searching or using the NPU, but it is using the separate AI kind of dedicated CPU cores to actually process this, and you can see it comes back pretty quick. It doesn't ask those kind of answer those technical questions, but as you can see on screen here, it gives you an idea of like the embed inquiry or query I should say, vector search, and then the retrieval passage and everything else. As you can see how it uses and it only uses the hardware, not the kind of NPU that it's there for. Okay, so I hope you found this quite a bit of an interest in using the router assistant. It's the first time I've actually used it properly, to be honest, and see if it can answer, you know, more difficult questions. But it looks like it, you know, it can't actually add them step by step right now. But I'd caveat that, you know, they are improving it. It seems like every month, and it is getting better. So I think it's you know, give it time. And I'm sure it will get there in the end with the kind of more step-by-step guided troubleshooting options. Again, I hope you found this video useful. If you do have any questions or anything around AI on these new kind of routers, or even I know there's the new Wi-Fi 8 that's coming out, and I presume that's got AI built into it as well, and potentially, or they might just try and you know, have dedicated routers for AI and leave that out of Wi-Fi 8 currently. But once I get my hands on any of these new models, of course I'll test them and let you know my honest opinion on them. And again, with this AI one, I've been using it for quite a long time now, several months. And to begin with, the firmware I couldn't really recommend it because it was dropping internet. It has got a lot more better after the last 2 updates on the firmware. It's much more solid now, and I can actually recommend it now. If you've got the money, because I know times are hard, and you need all the features that are built into this, because it is kind of like a mini PC now, where you have Docker and you can run kind of all these extra kind of AdGuard for DNS and home, your AI protection, your home assistant, and other Docker containers on here, and it having, you know, 2 kind of separated CPU, 2 lots of flash memory, and 2 lots of RAM, and an NPU as well built in. I mean, these are like mini PCs really now. Anyways, again, thanks for watching, and as usual, have a great day.